Hey, welcome everyone. This is the first lesson of, or the first video of the second lesson that we'll be doing here online. So once again, I would ask that if you haven't done so already, go ahead and please print out the sheets that were uploaded for you, so that you can follow along with the lesson here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at angles within polygons. Okay, a polygon, as a refresher, as a little review, a polygon is any shape with a multi-sided shape. And we have names for some of the particular polygons we're looking at. And the first one, the most simplest one we've got, is what's called, again, a triangle. And if we look in a triangle, we have three angles. Okay, so we got three sides. And when we add up the sum of the interior angles of the figure, as we've looked at already, we add up the sum of the angles in the triangle and we get 180 degrees. Now the number of triangles formed by drawing diagonals using one vertex. Well, basically, we'll look at what that means in the future ones, but basically we have one triangle here. And we'll see how this number here can change with the future polygons later on. Now, if we go on to the next one, we have here a four-sided shape. This is what we call a quadrilateral. It's any four-sided shape. Quadrilateral. Number of sides is 4. Again, it doesn't matter what type of quadrilateral. We are familiar with many of them: the square, rectangle, parallelogram, rhombus, trapezoid, to name a few. But what we want to look at here is we want to figure out, if I add up my interior angles like I did with the rectangle, how many degrees do I get? Well, what I can do is we can start here and we can divide this quadrilateral into rectangles. So I draw a line from here to the other points, and what I'm left with is a quadrilateral can be made up of two triangles. I know if I look at one triangle, the sum of the interior angles there is 180. And if I look at the sum of the interior angles here, once again, I get 180. Now, if I add up those two 180s, I know that it's going to be 180 plus 180. If I add up all of the interior angles of this quadrilateral, of any quadrilateral, I get 360. And the number of triangles that can be drawn, in this case, I have 2. Let's go on to our pentagon here. That's our 5-sided shape. Our pentagon, again, I can draw a triangle here and a triangle there. I've got 3 triangles. So essentially what I've got is a 5-sided shape with 3 triangles. So the total angle of the total interior angles of this pentagon, well, if I have 3 triangles, I'm going to take 3 times 180. And if I do that, I find it's 540 degrees. I'm hoping by now you'll seeing a little bit of a pattern here, but let's just keep going on here. Hexagon. Again, 6 sides. I'm going to, as I've done up here, make it into different triangles. If I start here, I can go down here, I can go down here, And I can go here, and if I look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. And if I want to find the sum of the interior angles, I take the number of triangles times 180 degrees, and that is 720. Okay, with my heptagon, that's my 7-sided. Again, 7 sides. Number of triangles. Now if you look, it's always 2 less than the number of sides. See, 2 to 4, 3 to 5, 4 to 6. So I know that I can make 5 triangles. I take that, and it's going to be 5 times 180, and that's going to give me 900 degrees when I add up the interior angles of this heptagon. So now if I want to find a general case, and let's say n number of sides, n can be any number. How many triangles can we make out of that? Well, it's going to be 2 less than then. So it's 2 less than that. So it's n minus 2. I want to find the sum of the interior angles of anything here. So the general formula is I take this number of triangles. So I take n minus 2 times 180 degrees. This is the sum of all angles of a polygon. So what we can do is we can follow this pattern for any number. So as an example, if we want a polygon with 24 sides, and I want to see how many, what's the sum of the angles of the interior of this shape? Well, the number of sides is going to be 24. The number of triangles is going to be 2 less than that. So all I do to get the sum of the interior angles, I take 22 times 180, and that's going to equal 30,960 degrees. Now, if you flip over to page 2, to this one here, we're going to go through a few of these very, very quickly. Let's do question 1 here. Determine the sum of all the interior angles of a polygon with 15 sides. Well, I want the sum of the interior angles, and I know it's got 15 sides. So, what I can do, the sum of the interior angles equals, it's going to be 2 less than 15, so it's going to be 15 minus 2 times 180 degrees. And when you figure that out, we'll see that it's 2,340 degrees. Question 2, we'll let you try on your own here and take it up. Question 3. Determine the number of sides of a polygon if the sum of the interior angles is 5,400 degrees. So what I want to find out is how many sides does this have? Well, let's see here. What we can do is we can figure out the number of triangles that are made. And if I have 5,400 degrees and I have 180 degrees per triangle, I'm going to find out that I can get 30 triangles. Now, if I know that I've got 30 triangles, therefore I know the number of sides is going to equal 2 more than that. So number of triangles equals 30 plus 2, which equals 32 sides. And we're going to let you try number 4 on your own.